Hey guys, today we are finally making the Cowboy Candy. So let's see if I got my camera set up good enough for you guys. So I went ahead and it calls for 4 pounds of jalapenos. I don't know, what do I got here? Let's weigh her out and see. I'm gonna have to weigh out the bowl after I dump it. Oops, did that wrong. Let's see. Well, with the bowl, it comes about 2.135 pounds. Not enough. This calls for 4 pints, but it's what I have right now. And some of these cute jalapenos are starting to go bad, and I really wanted to make this. And it's good, but I don't like go through a jar a week, so it'll be all right. So I've got, and they've all cut into 1/4-inch rings. I don't want to touch this right now because I just took my gloves off because jalapenos are spicy. I recommend wearing gloves when you cut jalapenos. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, so, and then it calls for 6 cloves of garlic sliced. So there's 3, and I'm excited. I had to go downstairs and get my garlic that I grew for this. And so I haven't busted into any of these yet. This one I knew was going to be kind of small, so we'll probably count some of these as 1 clove, just because, I mean, like, here's a clove that I got from the store, here's one that I got. So yeah, but how exciting that I get to use my own garlic. I'm not ready to buff. I got a big garlic head. I'm not ready to get into that one yet, but I am super excited. You know, last year, not knowing much about garlic, I just read, oh, you can plant a bulb in the wintertime and let it grow. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to experiment. So I grabbed some garlic off the counter and put a couple cloves in, and I was amazed that it worked. So I actually did go buy some actual garlic starts, because I guess if you use too much store-bought, if you use store-bought garlic, it can result in fungus, I guess. So I don't want that happening. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think what I've got right here is going to be plenty good. So now I am just going to take these and put my knife flat over it, the palm, and keep your fingers up. You don't want to catch anything. And then you just smash it. And what that does is it releases that garlic peel. This smells good already, just opening the garlic. It releases the garlic peel and then kind of opens the clove a little bit too. And then that way you can, let's test out my garlic, see how it looks. But makes it easier to chop too. I learned that little tip I learned this from Rachel Ray many, many years ago. Like I said, guys, I love watching cooking shows. That's where I've learned a lot of my stuff. So, and watching YouTube. Boy, all my jars sealed. My relish jars, the one that I was kind of worried about, it did seal. I admit I was a little tempted to open up a jar and test it out, but I want to let it set for a little bit and wait before I do that. You know what? While I am doing this garlic, I probably should get my brine ready. So let's get that ready, okay? Okay, so for the brine, we need 3 cups of vinegar. So get that poured down. There's 2, I have a 2-cup measurer. Love this thing. I'll cry when it dies. Okay, there's 3. And then, I'm gonna set that to the side here. Okay, so and then 2 tablespoons spoons of salt. Or was it teaspoons? Teaspoons. Learn how to read. Okay. So, and this time I'm just using the Redmond's red salt. You can actually pretty much use any salt as long as it doesn't have any caking agents or is iodized. So this salt has neither one. And so I'm just gonna use that. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a really pretty pink color. I like this salt, and it's got really good flavor. And it was made here in America. How cool is that? Okay, so and then 4 cups of sugar. I had to go downstairs out of the bucket because my little container wasn't gonna have enough sugar, that's for sure. So 4 cups of sugar, that is a lot of sugar. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on to medium since that is my Dutch oven. It does take a little hot second to warm up. All right, and then 2 teaspoons of turmeric. Well, wait, let me get the 2 teaspoons of mustard seed. Because I can, so just getting out the mustard seed here. And then, okay, so 2 teaspoons of turmeric. Oh, I don't want to take that little shaker lid part off necessarily, just because oops, come out, because I like to shake it a lot into stuff, so into soups and things like that. I try to sneak it in a lot of things. Okay, now here comes for some extra spice, a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, which I'm gonna measure that out because I like it spicy, but gosh, you know, I don't want to die. And cayenne pepper, whew, that stuff is strong. So I'm just gonna, okay, we're gonna stir this. So I bring you in closer so you can see. I can't get my camera stand to go down lower or tilt or nothing. So, you know, we're rolling with this, guys. But, so I'm just going to let this go for a little bit and come stir it. Let's go get the garlic cloves finished. Okay, so I didn't think oh, you know what? I washed that pan and I guess apparently it must still be a little wet. I can hear it crinkling. Oh, goodness. So let's see. I went downstairs today, I washed all my jars, put everything away, and I have almost a whole entire shelf full of kosher dill pickles. So we are definitely done with kosher pickles for the year. I will give out some as gifts to people, so it's not like, you know, I'm gonna eat 40 jars of kosher dill pickles. So, but a lot will be given away as gifts. And then today I went out to my garden. I got like 10,000 cherry tomatoes. So, and I picked some basil. So that's one thing I'm gonna try today is try tonight. Well, I'm at least gonna get it washed tonight. I don't know, we might do it tomorrow night, but I wanna make some basil pesto. Never have I done that before, so I'm really super excited for that. Oh my gosh, I have a cut on my finger, I guess, and this garlic is burning. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh yeah, I do got a nice little, what did I do? Oh, I must have sliced it on the knife. See, gotta be careful, I wasn't paying attention. Whew. It's kind of like towards the tip of my finger underneath the nail. It's, you know, it's really burning. I gotta go wash this. It's not bad, it'll be fine. Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. It literally is like a paper cut. That's all it is. So I might have done it when I was chopping the jalapenos. I don't know. It could have happened in the garden for all I know. But I got a Band-Aid on, a Only one I could find was a PJ Masks one. That's what, it's kind of funny, you know, when you have kids and all you can find is the cartoon character ones, but that's okay. And then I went ahead and I put a glove on just because I'm working with spicy foods and messy, and I don't want to, that garlic, that's what was burning me. I was like, ooh, boy, this garlic, you know, they talk about garlic peeling a lot of it and it'll burn your fingers and stuff. So, okay. Alrighty. So now, I'm just gonna finally mince this up. Probably could have got out the little mincer contraption, but I don't like cleaning that thing. Like, it's nice, but there's days where I just absolutely hate cleaning it, and I find this to be just as effective and easy. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I went out and picked all that basil and stuff, and so I have pine nuts, and I have Parmesan cheese, and I have lemon juice, and I have olive oil. So I am really excited to give that a shot. And what I wanted to do is make a basil pesto salad, because I have all of those amazing cherry tomatoes. Slice them in half, you know, cook up some bow tie pasta, because that's the best way to have it in my opinion. Cook up some bow tie pasta. I got some mozzarella pearls. Throw those all in together with the basil pesto. That's just dinner alone for me right there. I will devour a whole entire bowl. So, all right, that's good. I'm gonna grab my bench scraper, I think, just because it'll pick up all of this garlic better. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the garlic in, because it said to throw everything in except for the jalapenos. Okay, let me get that sticky glove off now. Okay, so let's come over and give it a stir, see how it's doing. Okay, wow, the sugar has already somewhat dissolved. All ingredients except for jalapenos over high heat, dissolve sugar. Lower heat, cook on to medium, simmer 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of let this come up to a boil now that I put the garlic in here. Just to get those fragrances kind of started, and just to make sure all the sugar's dissolved before I put those jalapenos in. One tip when you're cooking garlic, don't ever put it in too quickly, because then you run the risk of burning it, and you don't want burnt garlic. It's not good. And I have a bunch of bell peppers now to process. Oh my goodness, I guess I could show you while that's coming up to a boil. So this isn't all of my basil. This is just a lot of it, but I picked this whole entire bowl full of basil. So that it's gonna get processed. And then more cucumbers, which I think those are gonna go for salad too. This whole beautiful basket. In the bottom of this basket is a whole bunch of just cherry tomatoes and some of my 4th of July tomatoes. That plant has actually been my most prolific, these two. But the 4th of July tomatoes, they're tiny. They're not big at all. So, but all these beautiful bell peppers, I'm excited. And I have some more over there from the other day. So I have a lot of that to process as well, which it'll get done. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but now we've got this up to a boil, okay? So now I'm gonna grab our jalapenos and toss these in. So, ooh, I am really excited for this. I don't know, it doesn't, I thought it would have a lot sweeter smell to it, It almost reminds me of that bread and butter pickles that I did. That's what it almost reminds me of. I still love this little pot holder. It's little, it's not big, it doesn't get in the way. So, all right, well now I'm going to get these up to a boil here. Well, I'm gonna let it boil for just a second, and then I'll put it down onto medium heat, and then we'll let it, it says to let it simmer on medium heat for 15 minutes. So pretty much like my jalapenos are bright green right now, it will change them to like a darker, kind of lighter green. I don't know how you want to explain that. So to me, like right now they feel darker green, and then when they cook they seem lighter green. So I guess we'll, you know, have a little comparison. So, but there's all of the jalapenos in there. It actually filled the pot up quite a bit. So I don't know. We'll see. I never know how these things are gonna go, you know? So we'll come back after this has simmered for 15 minutes, okay? All right, guys, it's been 15 minutes, and so I pulled everything out, got my jars out. I had them in the water bath canner. So, I don't know, they might be too hot, but so you can see they turned that, I guess maybe a darker green. Excuse me. Maybe a duller green. So you're supposed to use a slotted spoon to put everything in, kind of almost like the relish that we did. Almost like that. And then 1/2 inch headspace is what we want. I think I'm only gonna get 3 jars. I think I'm only gonna get 2 jars actually out of this. That's all right though. Hey, that's 2 jars I didn't have on my shelf, unless I change my mind and decide to put these in pints, which, nah, I'll keep them in, I mean in half pints. No, I'll keep them in the pints. I just realized I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Steph. This is the Not Basic Homestead. Welcome. I'm so glad you came and made it this far in my video. I appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. But I live in Nebraska. I am a family of 4. I have 2 children and a husband. So ranging from ages 9 to 16. Oh my God, I can't believe 16. That still hurts my head to think about it. I just realized I forgot to put a glove on. I'm not used to hurting myself like this in the kitchen so bad, so. Okay, right now I'm just working on, yeah, we're only gonna get 2 jars. Well, maybe my jalapeno plants will start getting a little bigger, a little better. So I'm gonna set that to the side there and kind of, oh yeah, I'm gonna smush these down. All right, let's see. It smells spicy, that's for sure. But it's just like this spicy sweet that you get out of this. It's so good. Now, I've also heard, I've seen people, they jar up the brine. So I'm gonna do that. I don't see how brining the liquid, you know, can't be safe. So with as much acid that's in here. So, well, almost 2 full wide mouth jars is what I got. So, and I left it in the dishwasher. Let me get it out. I gotta wash it. Can't be recording with Steph without forgetting something, right, guys? Okay, so now I'm just gonna fill the liquid up into here, 1/2 inch headspace. So yesterday it was like what? Yeah, 1/2 inch headspace. That's what we did. So now I'm just gonna debubble this a little bit, see where we're at. remember, we got to debubble. It changes the headspace and it affects it. And also, you know, determines on if you need to put more in or not, which, yep, I do. One thing, I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but I've learned, whoops, there you go, that's exactly why. I've learned while canning to put an old towel down underneath. That way, it's so much easier to clean, you know. I just shake it off into the trash can and throw it in the dishwasher, washing machine. Oh, you guys, my brain's getting fried. It's been a long day already. And I only had to work part of the day. So, okay, well, there's that. So then let's just see what we get in brine now. For those of you that have been canning a lot longer than I have, let me know if this is not something safe. It's not like I'm gonna bust into this right away. You know, I mean, if it's not something safe to have on your shelves, then I'll dump it and wash the jar. Still gonna put it at a 1/2 inch headspace though. Because if this is something, I don't want to risk losing out on that. I mean, I would say, oh, I'll just save the brine for later, but when I went out today to go check my jalapenos, I did not have very much. So there's like, they're tiny, little bitty babies that are growing right now. So not even enough. I had some, you know, on one plant, I mean, literally, they like the size of my thumbnail, very, very tiny. They just don't seem to be wanting to grow at all. And, wait a minute, this isn't a 1/2 inch headspace. No, that's a little bit more. Whoops. I was gonna say I put a little, that's hot. Put a little too much into that one, so we'll, you know, let me grab a spoon out and I can just spoon out of that one. You know, this makes a lot of brine, so I bet you anything that if I could have filled these jars with jalapenos, I could have probably easily have filled 5 to 6. So yeah, it definitely calls for 4 pounds. It's not kidding when it says 4 pounds. Well, like my cucumbers, I can sometimes get away with, like yesterday. But yesterday I had like 15 pounds of cucumbers that I processed, so that was a lot. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Okay, I forgot to grab my vinegar. Oh my gosh, you guys, this stuff is sticky. I think it's almost stickier than my bread and butter. I mean, the zesty bread and butter pickles that I did the other day. Oh, yeah. I definitely gonna make sure I wipe these rims off really, 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 really well. Well, you guys, there you got it. I've got my very first batch that I have ever made of Cowboy Candy. I'm gonna kind of go on the outer edges here too, because I made a mess, and I don't know. I don't want the rings sticking to this either. Oh my, what a mess. So, you know what? I think when you do this, you might want to wear gloves. It is very sticky. I feel like this brine would be good for using in like a, gosh, like a bread mix, you know, if it calls for water, you know, use this brine. I feel like that would be really, really good. Really, really good. All right, I'm gonna carefully set these jars in. Yeah, again, let me know if this isn't safe, because I am not a rebel canner. I want to do all safe canning, and my Google brain, you know, I don't know how much I can trust AI. I really, really don't. And I have a jalapeno that disappeared. Ooh, let's taste test it. Let's see. All right, ready? Oh, that's spicy. Ooh, my goodness. I can taste the vinegar, the sugar for sure I can taste. I can definitely taste that. The heat of the jalapeno and the cayenne. I didn't think, you know, I can taste the cayenne and the jalapeno. I'm not tasting the salt or the mustard seed and the turmeric. The turmeric I think is more, that I'm not tasting at all, but oh my goodness. That is gonna be some amazing cowboy candy. Oh man. Hopefully my jalapenos do get better and I can definitely make some more of that stuff. I almost think I should have put those into pints, and so I could have savored it better. So, all right, I'm gonna let this get up to a hard boil, and then I will set the timer for 15 minutes and then we'll pull it out, okay? Okay, so the timer went off. Gonna take the lid off. I just wanted to show you guys so you can kind of see that, see how that's just a rolling boil. Now it's really calmed down since I took it off, but I'm gonna set the timer for 5 minutes and then we're gonna take it out, okay? Well, pulling out the last 2 jars. Remember, when you're pulling out, you don't want to tip the jars. That's why I have the towel underneath me, because you don't want to mess up that seal at all. I used to tip the jars until, like I said, I'm starting to learn, but look at this beautiful jar right here. Isn't that amazing? We did that together, guys. Awesome. Well, hope I inspired you to go out and make your own batch of cowboy candy. I highly recommend it. It is really, really good. I'm still gonna wait probably, love the popping sound. Ooh. Anyways, I'm still gonna wait a couple weeks before, that is my basil telling me it's done, that I'm going to pop open one of the relishes and we'll try that together. So don't worry. I'm not gonna let you go without knowing what it tastes like, and a jar of the pickles too. So while that was processing, I got all my basil washed. Now I just got to take it out. I just put it in the vinegar water. I'm kind of letting it sit just a little bit longer. There was some snails. A lot of it I didn't use because the flowers had gotten so big. So I kind of clipped all of that off. With basil, you know, the more you trim it, the bigger it'll grow. I've been terrible this year about trimming it. Last year it got taller than me. So I've been a bad basil owner this year, but I'm going to get it. And I don't like dried basil. I think it's gross. So I have the frozen in the olive oil that I'm going to try and see if that's any good. And then we're just going to make a bunch of pesto because I love pesto. And then after that, I'm just going to get through and process this beautiful basket of veggies. So thanks guys for coming along. I try this cowboy candy, or on the Ball website, it's called Candied Jalapeños, I think is what I read is what it was. So but give it a shot, and don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. I'll be posting another video. In the meantime, just watch one of the other ones, you know, until I get posted. So thanks guys, and God bless, and live your life to the fullest. Bye-bye now.